Yeah, my great listeners, good morning and good afternoon and good evening, depending on where you are viewing or listening from. This is Independence TV7. Well, I would say Ohaneze Ndigbo urges justice to save Nigeria. Wow. And also wants Kanu, NñAMDI Kanu, Mazi NñAMDI Kanu, the leader of IPOB. Well, the Apex Igbo socio-cultural organization Ohaneze Ndigbo yesterday cautioned against possible breakup of the country if the president or present imbalance in power sharing and social injustice continue. It also urged President Muhammadu Buhari to grant a prerogative of mercy to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi NñAMDI Kanu. The group also restated its earlier demand for an Igbo to succeed Buhari in 2023 to deepen the country's unity, stressing that it has formed a political action committee, which is the PAC, with its president, General Professor George Obiozo, as the chairman and Ambassador Oke Muchi as secretary to prosecute the 2023 presidential election. Obiozo, who spoke with a journalist after the group's National Executive Committee (NEC) on the meeting at its secretariat in Enugu, they also disclosed that the PAC had the mandate to liaise with those seeking political power from within and outside the south, east, and sensitize other parts of the country on the political quest of Ndigbo in 2023. He insisted that the country had drifted badly and its political and economic development now threatened, adding that time has come to reassess Nigeria's journey with a view to rewriting the wrongs for a greater tomorrow. He also cited Ecclesiastes 3 in the Bible, which says there is a season and a time for every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. The essence of the above quotation is to remind Nigerians that the country needs introspective and retrospective thinking to reassess our journey so far as a nation. Doing so includes a serious re-examination of our history as a nation. If the truth must be told, the nation has made two consistent mistakes that have worsened the nation's other problems, leading to near breaking points. We drifted into the problem with nonchalance and also sometimes we are oblivious of their consequences until what we think is an easy problem developed into a national catastrophe. Oh my God. If you really know what a catastrophe simply means, is synonymous to disaster. Or things that is jeopardizing and gradually. And also he was being asked, how did we get into the Western region crisis in the 1960s? Yes, how did we get to the civil war between 1967 and 1970? The Nadeko Abiola crisis and the South Avengers. This is one of the questions, or rather I would say these are the questions I'm going to ask again. He asked, according to what he said, that how did we get into the Western region crisis in the 1960s? That's number one. And how did we get to the civil war between 1967 and 1970? The Nadeko Abiola crisis also is there, and the South Avengers. Well, to continue, Obiozo lamented that as of today, the country's situation was not entirely different, but had become even more complicated. The way things are with communication and modern technology, our country is set not only at the usual breaking points, which were more easily controlled and contained in the past to preserve Nigerian unity. Yes, I would say in this point that I would say Nigeria unity, because the slogan of Nigeria is peace and unity. And meanwhile, the people who colonized us, or rather I would say people will give us independence. Make I use PG. People will give us independence. They practice parliamentary system of governance, which says it has hierarchy from the queen to the prime minister, from the prime minister to the governor, and so on and so forth. That is how we were being brought up before we're given independence. But we chose to adopt a democracy. And now, we said our slogan or our motto, Nigeria motto, is peace and unity. And I believe if there is peace, maybe individually in your heart, you know you have peace in your heart, not the government. And rather, in other words, I would say we adopted democracy from United States. And when you see their motto, you know that. I don't know, maybe you know, and we want you to know, and also you like it or not, you know or not. United States, practice democracy, which is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And their slogan or motto says, "In God we trust." If without mincing word, I would say democracy is even from God. Let me say it's from God. But if you love your neighbor as yourself, which the democracy itself has just said. I'm not minding what the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria is, because it's not democracy. That is not democracy constitution. So if you tell me Nigeria motto is peace and unity, then where did United States get "in God we trust" from? That is the question, because same democracy. And now Nigeria has turned upside down. Nigeria has gone bankrupt, and things are unfolding. NÑAMDI Kanu is just an innocent man, though he might have talked or speak ill or spoke or speaking, whichever way I put it, he might have spoken ill of the government of Nigeria or administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, but in a nutshell, he has passed his message. You might decide to detain him, and also decide to detain Sunday Igboho. The message has been passed, and now you, the federal government of Nigeria, Buhari government, indicting themselves the more, or rather, they are shooting themselves every day by day by holding NñAMDI Kanu captive, and that is what the international community or international organization are still watching, just because the power of incumbency is still with the president, and that's why immunity thinks is still governing him or guiding him. But notwithstanding, I would say Obi also argued that Nigeria was a country negotiated and amalgamated under some agreements that balance sensitive issues of power sharing and balancing of power regardless of other conditions, lamenting however that Nigeria or Nigerian nationalism is receding as ethno-regional nationalism, and also grows astronomically. This is the plight of so many people. If someone else would want to describe Nigeria, he would say Nigeria is a zoo. Same way NñAMDI Kanu has just said that Nigeria is a contraption. Well, for Nigeria not to become more contracted or not to be a contraption, yes, we need to reorientate ourselves through that constitution. If the 1999 constitution is abolished, definitely new one should emerge. Come 2023, the Yoruba nation are saying there is no going back, and there is not going to be election. The Biafra, they are not even talking about Nigeria, they are talking about Biafra. So for you to know that there is chaos, and United Nations, they are warming up for the arrest. I would always say Buhari is the number one on the list for arrest. Definitely, then, if he has on record, like he said nobody should ask him any question concerning his administration, that anybody who does will be in trouble. Yes, maybe he does not know how to put that English right. Nobody's going to be in trouble. Then he's going to make account, and he will be accountable for the government or for his administration within that 8 years. Well, this is what I'm going to draw the curtain. I would like you to share views in the comment section. Thanks for listening, and God bless.